Alright, now is part 3 of the indie games that are under the radar and some are even underrated. If you love these games, please check out the playlist for other parts down below. In no particular order, let's get into the list. Horizon's Gate is a pixel art tactical open-world RPG where you can have your own fleet, fight thugs and monsters, explore dungeons, and face naval battles. Yes, the game has a lot of content and is accompanied by a deep tactical RPG system with many classes. While the story is there, it's not the strongest point. The game shines in its gameplay mechanics, which include unusual aspects such as a trading simulator, resource management, and various build options. It also offers sandbox gameplay where you can join various factions. It surprises me how much there is to cover in this seemingly simple game. Wildfire takes a unique approach to stealth games by combining stealth with 3 basic elements such as fire, water, and earth. You will need to use these elements to outsmart your enemies or create chaos around them, as there are many different interactions between the environment and the elements. You can approach the stages in various ways, as long as you're not getting caught. Burn bridges to create distractions, or perhaps hide in the dark. It's up to you to be creative. My only pet peeve is that you need to play the game several times to unlock the full abilities, but nonetheless, it's a fun stealth game. Jusant is an action puzzle climbing game with refreshing visuals and relaxing yet tight gameplay. You will climb various terrains, each with different hazards to overcome. Play at your own pace because there is a lot of enjoyable scenery to appreciate and the climbing parts and animation are very immersive. The game's strongest point is its atmospheric storytelling. Your objective is to keep climbing to the top. One downside is that the game is relatively short, so I would love it if they could extend the gameplay length a bit more. If you're looking for a casual yet atmospheric game, play this game. Northern Journey is a first-person open-world game where it feels like you're playing Skyrim on acid. While it may look funny, and the music is rather unique and catchy, the game is very atmospheric and immersive. It captures the feeling of true mystery and discovery better than a lot of other open-world games. The combat can be quite challenging at times, with the enemies feeling threatening. For example, there are lots of spiders. The game also rewards you for exploring the world, as it is the main focus, with each level having its own traversal gimmick. It's one of the most unique games and definitely worth trying out. Planet S is a free real-time strategy game where our goal is to colonize multiple planets in our solar system, build our cities, and advance the civilization within them. Even though it's free, the depth of content and gameplay is amazing. There are many aspects to consider. You'll manage cities, population, energy, and resources to fulfill the needs of your people. While doing so, you can zoom out to manage similar things on your other colonies in the solar system and prepare to fight against your enemies. While newcomers might struggle to get into the game, it's not overly complex to learn. Limelight is a minimalist puzzle game. No, seriously, it's so minimalist that all you have on the screen is a bunch of shining lines. However, the game focuses on good puzzle design in its simplest form. You control a lighted line, toggling switches in the correct sequences with precise timing to traverse many levels. The game gradually introduces you to new mechanics. While it's not very challenging, its well-designed levels are engaging enough to keep us interested. Minimalist design doesn't mean they overlook the visuals and music. Both are excellent and complement the game very well. At first, Hyperdemon hypes itself as an FPS like no other. It may sound like typical jargon or a one-liner, but it turns out to be true. It's fundamentally about chasing high scores and slaying monsters, but perspective, time, and space all break down as you push past the limits of conventional FPS games with your 360-degree vision. The game is intense, fast-paced, and requires you to go on the offensive each run. With the goal of killing things quickly, which gives you more things to kill faster, you can imagine the gameplay. It's a seriously good game, even though at a glance it might seem like a joke. Young Souls is a beat-em-up game with some action RPG elements. The game offers straightforward combat with various satisfying mechanics such as juggling and parrying. While you can play the game alone, this is one of those games that is actually better played with a friend. The game includes elements such as swords, bows, armor sets, and magic. You can play it using classic button mashing or by chaining combos. While the gameplay isn't very difficult, it still offers the fun typical of beat-em-up games. I haven't even talked about the beautiful art style of the game. Lunistice is a 3D platformer game heavily inspired by 32-bit games from the retro era, such as those on the PS1 and Sega Saturn. The game is designed to be simple, playable in short bursts, and of course fun. There isn't a lot of complexity in this game, so anyone can enjoy it. Honestly, it's refreshing to have a straightforward, linear game with easy-to-learn controls these days. You can enjoy the game straight from the get-go, and the levels are well designed. While the game can be beaten in several hours, it's still worth getting into. Laika Aged Through Blood is a Motorvania game, which means it's a Metroidvania with motorcycle-based core gameplay. You will explore, fight, or perform drive-bys on enemies and bosses using your motorcycle. You play as Laika, a coyote mother with a cursed bloodline in a post-apocalyptic world. The gameplay mechanics are a lot of fun, although you will need to learn them first as you're basically performing a lot of stunts. One of the surprising elements in the game is how emotional yet dark the story can be. If you love Metroidvania games, this is definitely a must-try to see if you like the mechanics. Beton Brutal is a first-person platformer climbing game where your task is simply to climb and ascend through massive levels with increasing difficulty. As you can imagine, there will be many times you fall from certain heights and need to climb back up. It's similar to the popular game Getting Over It, but the difficulty in this game is more balanced. Because the game is played in first-person perspective, the climbing intensity feels more immersive, and performing parkour feels more direct as you can see the platform you're stepping on. It's a challenging game with no checkpoints for each time you fall, but climbing again is enjoyable. Crystal Project is an open-world RPG with a focus on exploration in the vertical world. How you shape your story is based on your own exploration. Yup, it's a turn-based RPG with heavy emphasis on platforming. Let's say it's a top-down Metroidvania RPG. The mechanics of the gameplay are quite challenging at times with aspects such as classes, gear, and abilities, but they are very enjoyable. The story is also very minimal and definitely not the focus at all. However, the exploration elements in this game are what make it stand out. It's one of the games that is better to go in blind without guides or spoilers. Garde is a linear action-adventure game, a genre that honestly seems to be somewhat forgotten nowadays. The game offers simple yet fun combat mechanics such as parrying, dodging, and using environmental items. The fencing is quite fluid, and in some ways, the lock-on mechanic is similar to the Arkham series. The art style, setting, and characters add charm to the game. One downside the game has is that while it offers a lot of fun, it is rather short in terms of gameplay. So for some, it may feel overpriced. However, due to the light-hearted, simple fun the game offers, I think you should add it to your wishlist.
No challenge can stand up to a Dalia Demolador.
At first glance, Parkasaurus brings me back to the memory lane of when I used to play Zoo Tycoon a lot. It plays similarly to Zoo Tycoon, but this time you have a lot of dinosaurs to fiddle with. As a tycoon game, It's super chill and easy to get into without a lot of complex elements. It will consume hours of your time with its gameplay. You can customize your park's biome for each species. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, and hats can be given to both park staff and dinosaurs to boost their appeal and various stats. If you're looking for challenging management sim games, this isn't for you. But if you're looking for a chill tycoon game, this is one of the best. Omno is a puzzle platformer game with simple yet beautiful visuals. You're a staff bearer on a journey to reach a mystical place. The gameplay consists of straightforward puzzles and basic platforming, which are very friendly and cater to all kinds of gamers. It's one of those games to escape to after a stressful day. The game excels in world building and creates a sense of awe as you approach new areas. Play at your own slower pace to fully enjoy the world the game offers. There is a storyline that gradually unravels as you explore the world. It's a game worth considering if you're looking to balance your gaming library.